I'm going to be showing you how you can upload your music to Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, whatever DSP you want to through DistroKid. So the first thing you need to do is definitely get yourself a DistroKid plan. You can use my link down in the description to get yourself a discount. And once you log into your account, it will bring you to this page. Once you're here, you'll see two ways to upload your music. One is through this drop down menu here, and the other is through this button. So I'll use the button. The next thing here, you are redirected to a page where you're able to select the services that you want to distribute your music to. Of course, you would want to leave every box here checked. The only two unchecked boxes are Snapchat and Roblox. I usually leave Roblox unchecked because there are certain terms and conditions they have that I don't really agree with. So I just usually choose Snapchat. With Snapchat, you need to confirm that you own 100% of the publishing of your song. And with Roblox, these are the terms right here. So the one that really throws me off is this second one, where they say you must not be registered with a performing rights organization. I keep thinking, what if I get registered with one later on? What would that mean for my music? So usually that's why I leave that unchecked. The next part of this page is the number of songs you want to release. So I've only released singles so far, so usually I leave this as it is. But if you want to drop an EP or an album, ideally you would want to come and select the number of songs you want to drop, and you can see a maximum here is 35 songs. A 35 song album is crazy, but you do you. The next part here is basically an upsell. So here they're telling you can monetize your single on social media. This is one of their extra features. You pay annually for it, and then they take 20% of platform ad revenue as well. I usually just leave this unchecked. The next part here is you have to declare whether the single was released previously. In my case, it's not. So the next part here, you can see there's another upsell. Again, the plan that I'm using on DistroKid is the Musician Plus plan. So they're trying to upsell me to the Ultimate, but I'm not interested, so I'll leave this at no thanks. The next part here we need to select is the artist/band name. You can see that my name is already selected. And then the next parts are Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, and Instagram, plus Facebook as well. So you can see that I have had my account for some time, so these are already set up. If this is your first time, then this will look a bit different for you, but it's pretty straightforward as well. If you're having challenges with this, let me know down in the description, or rather in the comments, and then we can figure out a way to help you out. So the next thing after this is the release date. So they're saying here, setting your release date to at least 1 week in the future increases your chances of getting added to playlists. If it's important that your album goes live in all stores on the same day, click here for information. Now, I'm not dropping an album, so I'll just set the release date. I want to release this on, maybe let's say 24th. It's a Friday. Usually artists release music on Friday. And yeah, so I've selected 24th of April 2026. And then the release time, I'm going to just leave this as it is. I'm not going to tamper with it. And the next part here is time synchronization. So you can also come here and synchronize the time. The options here are, you can choose to release it on that date, 12 a.m. in the listener's time zone, or you can select 12 a.m. in New York and simultaneously all other countries at the same time, regardless of the time zone. So I don't know, do I want to do at 12 a.m.? I think maybe let me change this to maybe 6 a.m. I guess they put 12 a.m. because it's the beginning of the day. So maybe you wouldn't want to drop your music in the middle of the day. But for me, I think I would like to drop it maybe at 6 a.m. so that as people are waking up, they are basically notified that, hey, this song has dropped, instead of, in the middle of the night. So the next part here is whether to set it to be pre-ordered or not. So you can choose whether to let someone else buy the album, or rather the single, or not. But this option is only available if you have the Musician Plus plan or the Ultimate plan. It's not available if you have the basic plan, just the Musician plan on DistroKid. So I'll click yes, and then pre-order date will be today, so I'll leave that as it is. The record label, I have my own record label, so I leave it at this. Again, It's only because of the plan that I have right now that I'm able to choose this. If you have the base plan, which is the musician plan, DistroKid will be automatically your label if you don't have a record label. Then the next part you select is the language. Mine is in English, that's the song. The primary genre here is hip hop, rap, and then what other genre? I don't think there is any other. It's a very old school type of hip hop beat or hip hop song, so I'll just leave that as it is. The next thing here is the album cover. So you need to add an image. On the side here they give you specifications in order to upload an album image that won't be rejected, that is up to their standards. You can always pause and read this, but if you want to add here an image, you click and then you go to where your album art is. So the song is called Change and this is the album cover. I want to change this name, at least for metadata purposes. So that's the album cover. And then the next part here is you're supposed to put in the song title. So here they're letting you know, just put the title in this space, no featured artist or other information. So the song is called Change. And then you're given more instructions here. Don't include featured artists here. You add them below and I'm going to show you where. Then if it's a cover song, don't include original artist's name and then no year or dates. And then if you have a featured artist, this is the place where you're going to add them. So you can click here and then you add the featured artist, but it's just me on this song. So the next part here, you add version info to the song title. So no, this is a normal version, but if it's a radio edit, you come and select this. If it's any other type of version, you can select other. So this is what the song title preview looks like. And then we get to the point where now we are uploading our song. So these are the formats that are allowed: WAV, MP3, M4A, and all these. Usually I stick to WAV or MP3, but specifically I prefer to have the WAV file uploaded. So I'm going to upload this song right here, and you can see it has been uploaded, change WAV. And then you can also have the option to master your track through Mixer, because DistroKid has a partnership with a platform that masters your song with AI. If maybe you have a mix that's not complete, they can do that for you, but we can do that also at a later stage. Fortunately, my song is already mixed and mastered, so I won't use it, but I'll show you exactly how you can do that if you're interested. The next part here is you're supposed to declare whether your song was mixed with Atmos. Mine was not, to my knowledge. The next part here is the songwriter / cover song. So you're supposed to declare whether you wrote the song or you manage the songwriter. So it's an original song or it's a cover song. It's an original song. Then we're supposed to declare the artist's name, the songwriter's real name. And for me, it's this. Now, if maybe you wrote the lyrics but you didn't write the music, you can come in here and then you specify and you allocate credit to whoever has done what in the song, whoever has written some music or written some lyrics for you. So you can always add another songwriter right here. So the next part here is explicit lyrics. In this song there are no explicit lyrics, so no, but if there are, you can click yes. Then here you're supposed to declare whether it's a radio edit. So this song is clean and always has been. So if let's say your song has curse words and you're submitting a song without curse words, that means edited for radio, here you would come and declare by saying yes, there is an explicit version of this song, but this is the clean / censored version of it. The next part here is declaring whether the song has lyrics or it's just an instrumental. Mine has lyrics. And then you can also select when someone can start listening to your song, in terms of it's suggested to them, what do they preview. So here you can select the exact part that you want to bring new listeners into, which I think is very important, because you would want them to get to the best part of the song and decide for themselves, maybe this song is worth listening to. I think that is important as well. So you can let the streaming services decide. Remember, this is for TikTok, Apple Music, and iTunes, or you can select the time. So personally, I usually like to select the time. This is the time I would like them to start listening, to preview my song. And then with the prices, I usually just put the highest price. Then here they also let you know tracks over 10 minutes long will be priced higher. And then down here we're supposed to declare, or rather credit our producer, and also ourselves as performers. So this is specifically for Apple Music. And one thing I can let you know here is, if you skip this step, then you will need to deselect Apple Music and iTunes from this part of the process. Up here under the services, you need to come and deselect Apple Music and iTunes, and then add that information later on, after which it will be added to those platforms. So I would rather just do it within the DistroKid platform. So we click here, and then the first person I add here is the performer. This is for the producer. So for the performer, it's me. And then here we can select background vocals. And then another thing here I did, let's see, vocal accompaniment. Everything vocal was me. So I just make sure I credit myself pretty extensively, to be honest. Singing and vocals, again, myself. Let's see if there's anything else that applies as well. Singing and vocals is right there. Vocal accompaniment. Singing and vocals. Rapping, yes. That's me. I just want to see if there's any other role I have left out. Performer, that's me as well. Let's see if we have anything else. So that's it. We've exhausted the credits for the performer. Now for the producer, you can come and give your producer some credit right here. So you put in your producer's government names. So he made the beat, he's the one who did the vocal engineering across the board. And then let's see, mastering engineer, that's him. I think I should just copy this and paste. Let's look for another role. So he's the mixing engineer as well. And we can also just put him as the engineer. So overall engineer was him as well. So post producer, pre-production engineer, I don't know what that does, but yeah, recording engineer as well, same person. And then he was also the vocal engineer. I feel like all these whatever you're seeing on the screen, or among those options, that is production or engineering, it's the same guy, right? So I'm just trying to exhaust it as well, at least cover the general basis. Let me see, do I have producer already? I don't think I have producer. Yeah, so I think this is the final credit I'll give. And yeah, so this is how I properly credit, or I think this is properly crediting anyone that has worked on the song. And then the next part is now the extras, or the optional features that DistroKid offers. One thing you should know is I usually call these hidden fees because they don't declare them upfront, but you can leave a legacy where you pay a $29 one-time fee for each song. And let's say one day you forget to pay for your DistroKid plan, and DistroKid removes or cancels your subscription, your song would not be removed off streaming platforms, so it continues to accrue royalties. And at a certain point, maybe when you come back and you want to get back into music, maybe you're ready to renew your subscription, you'll still find your music has been making money, or your music has been being played worldwide or to your audience. The next part here is Discovery Pack. there's store maximizer, there's DistroKid music video distribution, loudness normalization, and again we saw this app earlier during this process, the social media pack. Each of these has an annual fee, so you must be cognizant of that, because you don't want to think, okay, I'll just pay this year and then I'm done. The only feature there that does that is leave a legacy. So that's that. And then at this point you need to come and check all these check boxes. You can read through them. I've read through them multiple times, so I'm just going to check all of them. And then the next part here is we are given a preview of the release details. So the song is called Change, artist name, artwork, release date, record label, and then pre-order. And the next thing here is continue. So now the song is being uploaded, the album artwork and the audio. And now we are redirected to a page where, if you recall earlier in the video, I spoke about Mixia, which is DistroKid's mastering, AI mastering engine. So here they're saying they're enhancing my sound. You can choose to use your original audio, which I'm going to do, like that. Or you could choose to enhance this track for $10.49. That's for one song. And then at the bottom here, you can pay $99 per year in order to be able to master unlimited tracks. So you can choose to do this if you don't have access maybe to someone who can master your songs. I think it could be helpful, but I'll just stick to using my original. Here you're given a chance to listen to the original and the enhanced one. Usually the enhanced, in my opinion, doesn't sound as good if your song is already mixed and mastered. So you can do with that information as you will. The next thing here, we click continue, and just like that, we've completed the process. Very simple, very slick. That's DistroKid for you. I will see you guys in the next one.